Live happy and healthy, my brother. Live happy and healthy, my sister.
Pre-frailty is a red flag you should never ignore. If your doctor asked you the following 5 questions that I will be asking, what would your answers be? Question number 1. In the past 4 weeks, have you felt tired all the time or most of the time? Question number 2. In the past 4 weeks, have you had difficulty walking up 10 steps without resting and without using aids? Question number 3. In the past 4 weeks, have you had difficulty walking 300 meters without using aids? I guess someone may be asking, what does 300 meters look like? The width of a standard door is about 1 meter, similar to the width of a large fridge. So, if you imagine in your mind's eye the width of a standard door times 10, that would be 10 meters. Stretch your imagination a bit more and think about that distance times 3. That would be 30 meters. And then multiply that by 10. That gives you, in your mind's eye, an idea of what 300 meters would look like. So, in the past 4 weeks, have you had difficulty walking 300 meters without using aids? Question number 4. In the past 6 months to 1 year, have you lost up to 5 kilograms without intending to lose weight? Or have you lost up to 5% of your body weight unintentionally? So, for example, if you weighed 60 kilograms 7 months ago and you now weigh 57 kilograms, without losing up to 5 kilograms, you have actually lost significant weight because you have lost 3 kilograms, which is 5% of your previous body weight. Question number 5. Have you been told by your doctor that you have any of the 11 conditions I'm going to mention now? Have you been told by your doctor that you have 5 or more of any of these conditions? Hypertension, diabetes, stroke, heart failure, kidney disease, arthritis, asthma, angina, heart attack, chronic lung disease, and cancer. If your answer to all 5 questions would be no, I congratulate you. You are apparently an example of a fit or robust adult, but please don't go away just yet. If you would answer yes to any 1 or 2 of those 5 questions, the odds are that you are pre-frail. If, on the other hand, you would answer yes to 3 or more of those 5 questions, you are probably frail and should already be getting appropriate medical care. So, what exactly is frailty? I have tried to simplify the definition, and I would say that frailty is a state in which individuals experience decline in the way their bodies function as a result of multiple conditions that make them more vulnerable to external stressors, for example, illnesses. The result is an increase in the likelihood of their becoming more and more frail and dying prematurely. Frail, FRAIL, is an acronym in which F stands for fatigue, R for resistance, A for ambulation, I for illnesses, and L for loss of weight. So if we go over those 5 questions again, fatigue would be identified in the question, have you felt tired all or most of the time in the past 4 weeks? Resistance, have you had difficulty climbing up 10 steps in the past 4 weeks? Ambulation, have you had difficulty walking 300 meters in the last 4 weeks? Illnesses, do you have 5 or more of the 11 conditions I mentioned? Loss of weight, have you lost up to 5 kilograms without intending to in the past 6 to 12 months, or have you lost up to 5% of your stable body weight? The frail scale in many ways is similar to Linda Fried's frailty categorization, but in this episode we are avoiding complexities. We want to keep it as simple as possible. So as we said, if the answer to all those 5 questions would be no, then that describes a fit or robust person. If the answer would be yes to 1 question or 2 of the 5 questions, that is the red flag, pre-frailty. The frail scale is the one I chose to use for this episode because it's simple, it's something you can relate with as we speak, and it's something that your doctor could use as a screening test to identify whether you or somebody dear to you may be pre-frail or frail. It may not be you, but would anyone you know answer yes to 1 or 2 of the frail scale questions? The features of pre-frailty can easily be missed. For example, think about a 65-year-old woman who complains of feeling tired and who is unable to go up a flight of stairs without resting. If her doctor were to use the frail scale as a screening tool to identify pre-frailty or frailty, this woman would answer yes to at least 2 of the screening questions in the scale. Unfortunately, she may not get to see the doctor at this stage for many reasons. There may be no money to pay out of pocket for healthcare. There may be transportation challenges. She may be afraid of going to the hospital for many reasons. She may also be afraid of getting hospitalized and losing her independence. Not to talk about ageism, which we discussed in the last episode, including self-ageism, which refers to how she may be thinking, feeling, or acting towards her own self because of her age. And so, she waits. Her family members wait. They make nothing of it until it may be too late to undo the harm. I recall noticing weight loss in someone very dear to me. He was apparently fit at that time. In fact, on the day I mentioned to him that he had lost weight, he had his gardening shears in his hand. He had been doing some gardening. He was physically, cognitively, and socially active. When I mentioned to him that he had lost weight, his answer was that he wanted to keep his BMI in check, even though he was doing nothing to actively lose weight. So I rested my case. But looking back, I should have pressed harder. By the time the diagnosis of cancer was made, there were already complications, and it was not too long before he passed on. Pre-frailty is important because in the dynamic spectrum from being fit to becoming pre-frail and then frail, pre-frailty, if identified, can be reversed, and the causes manage to return that older adult or the younger adult or the adult in midlife to a fit or robust state. Whenever you find unexplained weight loss, weakness, exhaustion, reduced physical activity, or reduced walking speed in a middle-aged or older adult, please take it seriously. It must be investigated and properly managed. In a publication in BMC Geriatrics in March 2020, Gordon and his colleagues reported that several community dwelling persons between ages 40 and 60 years were pre-frail or frail. This and other publications with similar findings challenge a view widely held that frailty is a disease only of older life. Think, for example, about a 45-year-old top-level professional whose blood pressure is controlled on medications. He always uses the lift to get to his office on the first floor. He doesn't think much of the fact that he gets breathless by the time he climbs 4 or more steps, which is why he actually prefers to use the lift. Many things go on undetected, and he progresses from undetected pre-frailty through frailty until a major catastrophe happens. In summary, frailty is not a feature of normal aging. Frailty is not limited to older life. Frailty and pre-frailty could occur in midlife, that is in people aged 40 to 60 years old, or in older life. Pre-frailty in midlife or older life is a red flag and should not be ignored. If pre-frailty is undetected or ignored, it could progress and result in repeated or prolonged illnesses, hospital admissions, and premature death. After last week's podcast, I was happy to get messages from a couple of people who wanted to know how to join this movement. And the answer is simple. Irrespective of your age group, your gender, socio-economic status, or other descriptive, I invite you to join us in pursuing our common goal. Let us support one another to improve our health, independence, and happiness. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verses 9 and 10 say, "Two people are better off than one, for they can help each other succeed. If one falls, the other can reach out and help." In our homes, our workplaces, places of worship, in our communities, let's reach out and help one another to succeed in living healthier and happier lives as we get older.
Live happy and healthy, my brother. Live happy and healthy, my sister.